What is up, guys? Zach with Fish and Forage here. I wanted to make this video for a couple reasons. Firstly, I wanted to kind of recap how 2019 went for me. It was actually a pretty good year for me. And also go over the plans I had for this channel, like moving forward into 2020. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is something that's been brought up to me a couple times, both on the river and off, and that is the issue of spot burning and the internet. So I want to give you my take on that and a couple of things I do to minimize the impact that my videos could have on the local fishing holes. But anyway, let's jump into some recap first, and then we can talk about that later. 2019 was the first year I started this channel, obviously, April in 2019. From April 2019 to now, I have not missed a single week of uploading. I'm approaching 400 subs right now, so I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for subbing to my channel. I do want to take this YouTube thing seriously. I think it's a lot of fun. I like going out there, I like fishing, it's kind of my passion. And I like teaching people and teaching you guys, how to fish, what different techniques and whatnot. So even though my channel is still small, I actually just like going out and fishing and making content. So that's kind of the main reason I'm doing it right now. But that's not to say that I don't want this channel to grow. I do want to take it seriously. I do want to see if I can grow it into something bigger. In order to do that, I need your help. Definitely hit that sub button if you haven't yet. That'd be great. Moving forward, you can expect at least one video per week, if not two. So 2019, it was a great year. I had multiple excellent trout trips up into the mountains, camping, foraging for huckleberries, foraging for blackberries, foraging for mushrooms in the fall. Amazing chanterelle year, probably one of the best chanterelle years I've ever had, alongside a ton of other species of mushrooms. So that was awesome. I started getting into bass in 2019. So I got like a kind of an alright set of bass gear that I was really excited about. The fall salmon season was out of this world. It was crazy. That's the best salmon season I've ever had in my life. And even when I fished when I was a kid a lot with my, with my dad and my brother-in-law now, I had never had a salmon season that good. So that was probably my favorite fishery this year. It was a blast. And they're some of my most popular videos too. So I'm glad that everyone else is enjoying them too. Winter steelhead so far, been a little slow. It's been a bit of a grind, but I've been having fun and I'll definitely keep going. Hopefully I can pull up some chrome ones, but that's 2020 now, so 2019, I mean, besides the excellent foraging, the excellent fishing, it was just a solid year. I was really happy to stay consistent with this YouTube, really happy with the content I made. I'm still learning. I'm still learning a ton. It's been fun to learn stuff. It's been fun to grow as a editor too, because each video I try to make a little bit better. So that's been a lot of fun too. Now looking forward to 2020, I actually have a couple trips already planned. I'm gonna go back over to the east side and fly fish hard on some lakes for some monster trout. Like I'm talking probably like 10+ pound trout I can go for over there. That's already planned, so I'm excited for that. I want to hit some summer steelhead a lot harder. There's a lot of rivers I learned about this season, this past fall, that are great summer steelhead rivers, and I want to try some of that out. I want to get a nice steely on my switch rod. That's one of my really big goals this year. Bass fishing, that is huge on my list that I want to do. I actually have multiple rods for that, a bunch of gear. I'm really excited for bass season. One of the things that I not really like going to seriously pursue yet, but one of the things I want to work towards is targeting like Washington record size largemouth or smallmouth bass. I think that would be really fun to try, even though it's from the bank or from a small craft in like smaller lakes. I still think I can make that into a fun idea, so I'm excited to try that. I want to hit salmon again. There's a spring run that I need to learn. I actually haven't really fished spring salmon in a long time, so that'll be fun to learn. And then obviously the next fall salmon I'm excited for too. So that's kind of like some of my plans I've got. I'm really excited to bring you guys along. I hope you guys enjoy these videos where I'm going out and fishing. If you have any suggestions for those, or if you want to see any certain types of fishing within the Pacific Northwest area, let me know. I'd be more than happy to try to fish them and make some videos out of them. That would be a lot of fun. I want to keep growing my tutorial videos, like those second videos each week. I've done some jig tying, I've done some rigging up and drift fishing tutorials, spinner tutorials, a lot of stuff like that. And I want to grow that library so that my channel can have a solid base of like, hey, how-to stuff. If I want to learn how to trout fish or whatever, I can find a video on this channel to learn how to do that. So that's one of my other goals, is, you know, keep growing that library of how-tos and informational videos for you guys so you can learn how to get out there and catch fish as well. What else? I guess we can start talking about the taboo subject of spot burning. For those of you who haven't heard, spot burning is something that happens when someone does really good at a fishing spot and they're taking pictures and they're recording video like me, and then they go home right away, upload all that video, and they're like, oh, this is the river I was on, this is the hole I was at, and I just knocked him dead. And the consequence of that is that a bunch of people online see it and they're like, oh, let's go down there tomorrow and catch some fish. That guy just got done catching a bunch of fish. So they go down there and they get there in the morning and there's like 50 people at the fishing hole. You know, that's the spot was burned online, you know. This is mainly an issue with salmon and steelhead. A lot of times, like the other fisheries, the spots that you would call like, oh yeah, a secret spot, they're not like heavily pressured anyway, and there's not as much interest. So this really only applies to salmon and steelhead. My view on it and what I'm doing to minimize that, there's multiple things. I'm not a report channel. I just want to be here for entertainment and learning. I don't ever want to write or make like report type videos. So if you come here expecting that, you're probably not going to find it. I won't even say river names. I kind of like the no river names rules. So hashtag no river names. On top of that, there's a couple other things I do to minimize the impact. First and foremost, all of my videos were filmed like, or at least all my salmon and steelhead videos were filmed like 2 to 4 weeks at least in the past. If you're seeing me do really good on salmon, or if you're seeing me do really good on steelhead, that was actually like a month ago. And so don't ever use me doing good for, you know, a barometer of how good it is right now. So that's the first step. The second step is I don't ever show, or I try my best not to show, you know, where I'm parking, where I am walking down, major landmarks. So that's another thing that will kind of make it so people who haven't been there can't find it. And then finally, I'm of the opinion that if you know the spot, that you know the spot. I can walk down to a river with my chest cam and show the other bank, and then people who have fished there for years will recognize that and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly where you are, you're burning that spot. In reality, you only know it because you've been there before. Like if I showed you a video of you know, someone fishing for steelhead over in Michigan in one of their rivers, you'd have like zero idea where they were. Unless they told you the river name, I would be impressed if you could find that information online somehow. I'm under that belief where it's like, yeah, if you know, you know, but you don't have to say anything. You can just be like, yeah, I know that spot, and only you and me know. And if I already know it, then I'm not burning it, or you're not burning it. So that's a really big one. It's definitely my strongest belief. Is just like, yeah, you can show the bank of a river, but if someone hasn't been there before, then they're not going to know where it is. That combined with the fact that all my videos are like 2 or 4 weeks old kind of makes it a really bad barometer to figure out where the fish are at the current present time that you're watching these. I'm also the belief, it's like I don't want to tell people where to go or exactly where to find the fish, or you know, what hole to stop at, but I do want to teach them how. So I have all these tutorial videos, and why I want to expand on that more. So I want to teach them how to fish, and if they can do the research like I did, like I went online, I looked at Google Maps, I looked at the regulations. There are some posts around that say holes and stuff. You know, all these are public rivers, and people are going to find it. There's no more hidden secret spots unless you have a drift boat or whatever. I want to teach people how to do it, and if they have the desire to, they can jump online and do the same research I did, and then get out on the river themselves. I wanted to address that because, again, I have heard it from a couple people who came to me and they're like, hey, why would you fish on the local rivers? Why, you know, you're going to blow up your rivers. Why are you doing that? I wanted to explain to everyone that I'm not a report channel. I'm never going to say the river name and blow that up. And those other points I make, you know, where if you recognize it, then you know it, but no one else is going to if they've never been there. And again, if they're willing to do the research and put in the time, and they're legitimately interested in learning how to fish, then let them discover it the way that we did, you know? That's kind of my feelings on that whole subject. I just wanted to get that out there, kind of a PSA for this channel, alongside, you know, my current recap, some of the highlights of last year, and of course what I'm looking forward to next year. So with that said, I hope you guys will stick with me. I'm excited to give you more fishing content, more foraging content. Thank you for watching this. Comment below, what are you doing in 2020? What are your goals for fishing in the new year? I want to hear it. Like this video, that thumbs up down there, I appreciate that. And until next time, you guys take care.